Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, this is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and I'm back again, once again, to react to the old Amberlynn read. Hi, hello, how are you all doing today? She has already posted a new video. She's been posting her uploads in the morning, which works out great for me as a reactor, because I can just right away and post them. I will say she's gonna post one of her videos on the weekend if she keeps up with this every other day schedule. So I don't post videos on the weekend. I'll get back to that on Monday, just so you know. But yeah, she posted it this morning and I'm here, ready to react. A couple things from my video I posted yesterday. One, so many people are like, Zach, Flea was the bassist in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe you didn't know that. First of all, besties, I'm not even familiar with Flea because of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm familiar with Flea because he voiced Donnie on the Wild Thornberrys, okay? And he was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, okay? So, like, the fact that I even knew the band name is the best that I can do for you, besties. I'm sorry, I don't know every single one of your favorite musical artists and what instruments they play in what bands. I thought I did pretty good just knowing that he was in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, okay? I think I probably thought he was, because doesn't Donnie play the drums in the Wild Thornberrys? Maybe I'm making that shit up. Either way, can't y'all just be happy that I knew the name of the band? I also want to say, I had a lot of speculation that the small business that sent the like little wax melt things to Amberlynn in the last video, I was speculating that they might be an MLM and that, like, I told y'all I don't really care for MLMs. I think they're not great. We could go into a whole conversation about how they prey on women and things like that, whoever, whatever. But I was right. A lot of y'all pointed out that it actually comes from an MLM called Pink Zebra. That's like a lesser known version of Cincy. So that's all. I just got a lot of comments about both of those things on my last video, and I thought I would address them here. But either way, I talked too much about all of that stuff, so let's get into today's video, which is called Exaggerating Food Issues, Going to a Different Program, ? And Horrible Storms, bar vlog. And I'm curious, maybe today will finally be the day that she incorporates all of these questions that she's been asking for on Instagram, or maybe not. I feel like at this point, I've talked about it so much, and she hasn't done it. And if y'all don't keep up with her on Instagram, you're probably like, what are you even talking about, Zach? And I'm like, I don't know. She was posting this on her Instagram stories that she wanted questions for vlogs, but maybe today will be the day. So, let's get to, what are my arms doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to my new vlog. We're starting off with the saga from my last video.
Are we getting another shoe update all the fuck ready?
The New Balances didn't fit, so I was searching for a pair of shoes online. Torrid.com.
Not the Torrid. Not the Torrid, but I will say, I think these are a little bit cuter than the last pair of shoes for cruise she was getting in that video. You know what I'm saying? I do think these are cuter in general.
Of course, Torrid.com.
Of course.
I found these shoes. These are the Active Mesh sneaker, and they are wide width.
Okay.
And they have my size. So I'm trying to decide if I should do a 9 or 9.5. I think I'm going to go with a 9.5. I really like these. So
Bestie, what do you normally wear? What do you normally wear? And then again, this speaks to my point that, like, girly, go into a store and try them on. Go into a store and try some shoes on. I don't understand. Why are we taking a chance on getting something again, which we know you won't return because you don't return anything that doesn't fit right? And why don't you just take a chance and see and go in real life and try them on? This doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, I'm gonna get these. Okay, you guys. So I just finished.
Oh my God, this stupid book. I wish we could move on, but she keeps on going.
It ends with us. And I do not understand why it's controversial.
I will say, I will say, I don't know if anybody can confirm or deny this, because again, I don't actually care and didn't actually look it up, so I might just be adding fuel to the fire. But there were a couple comments on my last video that suggested that they have reprinted this book with like an edited version to take out some of the problematic stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even really understand the depth of what the problematic stuff is, because Amberlynn has said things are problematic but hasn't really explained it or like why people feel that way or noted or cited any of the people who are actually saying that it's problematic. She's just said that she's heard it's problematic, and because she's read it and she doesn't feel like it is, she doesn't understand where those people are coming from.
So there's going to be some spoiler alerts.
Okay, well, we'll skip those. We're going to skip all of this.
I don't know. I guess I'm left a little confused, I guess. Hello, so it's been...
Okay, great. So she was, long story short, you didn't watch it because I didn't include it in this. She's confused why people are upset over it, but also confused why there's going to be a movie, apparently. So she gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but she doesn't think there needs to be a movie. That's everything she said. Now we're in my favorite place in Amberlynn's home, the bathroom. Let's get fucking to...
Some hours since we last spoke, I had a...
Ooh, I like how wavy her hair is here after it's been up in the little poop bun all day. That's kind of cute. That's kind of a mood.
My dietitian, I don't know if you guys remember, but I said how she's going to be talking to the surgeon one-on-one kind of about me as a patient. And then she was going to call me and let me know what, like... they think the next step of action should be.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm kind of like confused by it, but I actually got an email from her saying that the meeting between them was canceled because the weather here is really bad.
Okay.
We have tornado warnings. The wind is the worst I've ever seen. Like...
I'm so mad. I mean, like, I'm glad she's brushing her hair, but I really did think those waves were kind of cute. And now she's, like, brushed them all out. But she did, for a while, struggle with, like, brushing her hair every day. So I'm not mad about it, because I know that's something she was working on. But I did kind of like the waviness.
Actual life. And the power keeps flickering in and out here. And I have a security camera.
Okay.
That has like a community around it, and literally every, like, I would say 30 seconds, I'm getting a notification saying how a tree has fallen.
A security camera that has a community surrounding it? Is that like something, like, is that like a Nest thing? I mean, she did show a security camera in a video within the past year. But I don't understand the community thing. But I also have never had like a Nest or anything, so maybe that's why I don't understand it. But is it like, is she saying they like, her security camera talks to other security cameras, and because of that she's getting alerts that trees have fallen? I don't know.
People's power's out, so it's a very scary time where I live right now. So everyone at the weight loss clinic that I go to, I think, is like being sent home because it's really scary weather right now.
What? Wait, what? How do you know what's happening at the weight loss clinic just based off of one email from your dietitian that said they canceled their meeting because of the weather? So that means everybody's getting sent home. Like, that feels like a big leap. A big leap.
They're so frizzy. I watched it last night. This is what happens. It's so gross. Like, after I brush it.
I don't even think it doesn't look, what do you mean gross? What do you mean gross? I don't see, I just wish she would talk more positively about herself. Or, like, not even talk positively about herself, but not, like, I don't think I would have looked at her hair and thought it was gross here. In fact, just moments before she brushed it, I was like, oh, it looks kind of cute. I don't understand.
Like, I wash it, I let it dry, I put it in a bun, and then brush it, and it just gets so frizzy.
Well, maybe if you don't like it getting frizzy like that, then try something else. Maybe that's not the process or the method to go about doing it. Like, maybe you shouldn't immediately put it up in a poop bun on top of your head. I don't know. I mean, it looks fine to me also, for the record, for what it's worth, but also, like, you don't have to do all of that. You could try new things.
Grateful that I have power, because a lot of people are losing power and getting hurt right now, and it's just very scary. So I think I'm actually gonna not even continue vlogging today, just in case the power goes out in total. I want to keep because I'm filming for my phone. I want to keep my phone fully charged. So
yeah, but you also
tomorrow.
You also, I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, obviously, but we know you have a regular camera. Why not just vlog on that then, if you're worried about preserving your phone battery? You just showed us your normal camera in your last video. The logic and reasoning. I mean, if you don't want to vlog, don't vlog. That's fine. But, like, why get this whole backstory about, like, well, I gotta preserve my phone battery because I film on my phone? Girl, you just started filming on your phone in the last vlog. You said, oh my god, I'm filming on my phone now. Blah, 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 blah. What is the point?
Hello, it is the next day.
Hi, bestie.
And I'm about to just do a little bit of light makeup.
Okay, work.
So yeah, the weather last night.
She said, I don't like my frizzy hair, and what happens to it after I put it in a bun and take it out, but I'll put it right back up in a bun today, you better believe.
I'm worried about a lot of the people, especially in my city. It was bad.
Sure.
Like, obviously nothing bad happened to me and Feline, but a lot happened in my city. Like, like, that's nervous laughter, because I was so scared last night. We actually had to bring in everything from our porch.
Okay.
Because everywhere around me, everyone's everything was just flying everywhere. It was really scary. And
Sure.
a lot of people got hurt. Trees fell on people and cars and homes. It was very scary. Our power did flicker, like, a lot, but gratefully so, we didn't actually lose power. Very, very lucky in that regard, because most of where I live lost power. It was just hard to fall asleep last night, because all I could think about is, like, the people, like, affected, because, like, literally just in Oklahoma, I don't know, like, a week ago, my mom lost power for 3 days. 3 days, because the weather was so bad. Life is scary. And it's just crazy, because, like, all of the little tiny problems that people are, like, always blowing up to, like, something bigger than, like, what it needs to be. It's just... There's such bigger issues in the world.
See,
so I started another...
Wait. I appreciate all the stuff and insights she shared about, like, her concerns about the people in her community and things like that. I think that's fine. I think that's reasonable. I think would be normal to, like, have trouble sleeping during a crazy storm like that. What I do take issue with, okay, is this little piece at the end of, like, I can't believe you all are so bothered and taking such issue with such small things, when there's bigger things going on in the world, because honestly, truly, it's just such a, I think, weird energy of, like, argument. I don't know why I struggled with that word so much to get it to the tip of my tongue. But I think it's such a weird argument, because it's like, I could equally be concerned about the storms in your city at the same time as also being concerned about whatever little thing you think I'm caring too much about, right? Like, I don't have to, and in fact, I could care more about those things while still caring about the little tiny things that you think I shouldn't be caring about, right? So it's this, like, concept that people aren't capable of caring or feeling or being concerned about more than one thing at one time. And obviously, the energy I'm gonna give to, I don't know, let's say you not going in store to try on some shoes is gonna be different energy than I'm gonna give to, like, being concerned about the victims of a really terrible storm, right? Like, I don't understand why that's, like, so difficult for some people to understand. And also understanding that, like, some things are gonna be cared about differently by different people, and that's also okay. For better or worse, there's going to be some people that don't care as much about what's happening in your city with these storms as they are concerned about, like, you know, all the terrible anti-LGBTQIA legislation that's happening in America right now, right? Because some people aren't in Lexington, Kentucky being affected by the storm, but they are in all these other places in the world being affected by this legislation. Everything is like a scale, a spectrum, and everything and everybody is affected differently by different things. And I think it's okay that people have different energy that they can give to various different things at different points. We are multifaceted, complex human beings who experience many different things, right? And just because, as an example, just because I'm sitting here watching your videos, watching you struggle to find shoes because you just won't go into a store and try them on, I am also concerned, worried about all the anti-LGBTQIA legislation. And just because I don't mention it at all times on my channel doesn't mean that I don't care about it, right? So, like, I guess, like, you know, those, all three of those things, the storms, the legislation, and your shoes, those are all three very different things. I have capacity to be empathetic towards the people in the storms, to care about the legislation, and to also sit here and watch you struggle to find the right shoe size because you won't go into a store to try them on, right? Like, we are multifaceted individuals who can do multiple things at different times, and just because people aren't... Wow, I have really gone off the rails on this rant. Yeah, I think you get it, though, right? You get it? Are we all on the same page? We all get it, right?
I know. A lot of you don't, like, read and stuff, but I do want to, like, sprinkle...
Wait, a lot of you idiots don't read like me.
...material throughout my vlogs.
Okay, we're going to skip some more again.
By Lucinda
We're going to skip some more again.
And so far, so good. I am on page 15. I literally just started it this morning because I, like, woke up just a little bit ago. It's 9:36 a.m. So far, I've just showered and...
Okay, I guess we're not skipping all that much because she only talked about it for 2 seconds. Thank God.
Read a little bit because it puts me in, like, a good little headspace, you know? So today is Saturday, so regarding my dietitian...
Wait, Saturday? Oh, we're real the fuck behind then on on things, because if she filmed this Saturday... At the earliest it could be was last Saturday, because today is Friday, right? So we're now in, like, maybe a week behind territory in terms of, like, where her videos are at. I can't wait for the timeline to get complicated.
That's probably not going to happen until next week. So I'm not going to get any more answers or anything.
And that's
till then.
Probably
so
okay.
Make sure to keep you guys updated.
Just be
patient. A lot of people
patient.
tell me that I should, like, see if I can get weight loss surgery with a different program. Because some of you are like, actually, I'm not even going to say some of you. A lot of you are in my DMs telling me that this is, like, the strangest thing they've ever heard because, like, weight loss surgery is supposed to help with binge eating.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. If she wants to go get a second opinion somewhere, I think that's perfectly fine. Girl, you also just don't want to listen to any weight loss doctor or any doctor, period, who's not telling you exactly what you want to hear. And you do have a little bit of, like, a history with that. And you've already made the proclamation that you did so much research on this weight loss doctor and they're, like, the best one in your area and things like that. So I'm just like, I don't see what it hurts to take their advice and just wait. Everything they've told you this far has helped you and you've made progress, or at least from what you've told us, right? So I don't understand what that issue is.
A friend of mine, if you're watching, hi.
Hey.
Said something that really...
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I was like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense. She said, it feels like, or seems like, having me wait a whole year is like telling a drug addict, I want you to be a whole year sober before you go into rehab. You know?
Okay,
like,
well,
that's a really good metaphor.
Well,
and
I don't think that's a good metaphor at all, actually, because what we could be talking about here, if you want to make the metaphor better, okay, you could say, like, if, like, an inpatient program, like a program that Tammy Slayton is in, turned her away and said you had to be binge eating free for a year, that would be weird, because those kinds of programs are intended to treat binge eating disorder. This is a whole different kind of situation. This is a whole different kind of medical procedure. It's a surgery. And I don't think those two things are necessarily comparable at all, honestly. I think that's like a false equivalency.
It kind of does feel that way. I don't binge in the definition that they say. Like 3 times the amount of food you normally eat. Like, I've never done that, and people are coming out of the woodwork saying like how binging is like you get so desperate you eat the condiments in your home. What? I've never done that.
But bestie, she's just willing to like accept whatever definition fits her narrative right now, and whatever advice and whatever feedback she gets from people that supports her narrative that she should be able to get weight loss surgery tomorrow or in the next month or before summer or whatever it was that she wanted, because she full on has content on her channel where she talks extensively about binging. So yeah, I think it's reasonable that like any dietitian, psychologist, etc. worth their weight would be concerned about that as a part of her process and journey to getting weight loss surgery. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I could never tell you if she does or doesn't have it, but the fact that she has talked extensively for a couple years on her channel about having it, and that she's willing to admit that to them, I think speaks to a reasonable concern from a doctor or a dietitian or a psychologist. And for what it's worth, there was a person from my Twitch stream who linked me to an old reaction of mine. And by an old reaction, it was from back when she quit keto and she like did the weird cringy cookie, Chips Ahoy cookie binge on TikTok. And in that video, she explicitly said that she was not going to heal from her binge eating disorder anytime soon. And that was like 3 months ago, besties.
I'm not going to heal anytime soon.
And it really just comes down to is she got a new definition provided to her that made her feel like she was not experiencing this anymore, even though she's relentlessly told us on her channel that's what she was experiencing.
I only ever want to eat like junk. That's why I feel like, I mean, this is obviously my fault as well. I just don't feel like I binge, and I'm just starting to like see it more clearly now because like I don't think
you have a whole ass page of a bullet journal devoted to if you binged or just overate or you didn't do either.
If I ever wanted to look further deeper into, hey, is this binging or is this just a food addiction? I never wanted to take the time to do that. So it was always just so much easier. I hate how this eyebrow is darker, but it doesn't look like that in person, but on camera it does. It was just so much easier to just be like, yeah, I binge.
Yeah, that's the status quo for you. It's always just so much easier to take whatever is the convenient explanation for your behavior. Whatever the convenient explanation that's going to get you what you want. That's literally what it's always been about with you.
It was like denial, It's just a lot easier to say that instead of like, no, what's really going on?
Well, and the same argument could be made that now it's easier for you to say that you have a food addiction because they're turning you away and making you wait longer because you were diagnosed with binge eating disorder. Do you see how that's working? Do you see how that's working? And wouldn't you rather them do everything to make sure that you're not gonna binge and like potentially mess up your surgery? Like, I don't understand.
I was just trying to fall onto something, and by doing that, I have
that explains
actively ruined my future.
That explains literally everything. It's like her getting into Ozempic and like loving it, and then when it stopped doing what she needed to do, she stopped going with that narrative talking about getting diagnosed with lymphedema or lipedema, I think, or both maybe, and like having that be the explanation for all of her problems that she's ever had. It's just like, I'm not saying that none of those things ever happened or that she doesn't actually have those diagnoses, because again, like, I'm not a medical professional, just to make that very clear. But like, it's always just like what is convenient or what will get her what she wants.
So, I'm gonna do my eyeliner after I talk to y'all. I think this is a good example that, like, you can't fall back on things. If you want to get help, you need to be very honest with, professionals, but with yourself.
Yeah.
Very honest.
Yeah. Again, I said this in a video recently, but like, you're the only one that's coming to this conclusion that like honesty is important. You're the only one, because the rest of us are like, yeah, you shouldn't lie. You should lie to yourself, to health professionals, to people in your YouTube audience. You're the only one that suddenly has this light bulb that like, wow, honesty is important. Who would have thunk it?
And I'm learning the hard way that living in delusional land and denial land gets you nowhere. And
wow.
It's easy to sit there and be like, yeah, I eat a large quantity of food and I feel guilty afterwards. It sounds like binge eating. But realistically, I eat a large quantity of food because that's how I've been since I was a child.
Honestly, I think she's still living in delusion land. I don't think that she's actually ready to figure out what the real problem is, because we know that she hasn't been going to a therapist. We know she hasn't been actively seeing a therapist to address any of these issues. And again, she's just picking what she thinks is going to help her get what she wants quicker. I don't think that there's any level of like honesty with herself yet, to be honest. If you want to talk honesty, I'm not getting a lot of it from her right now. And I don't know, maybe it's not fair to call it dishonesty, but I definitely don't think she's being fully self-aware. Like if she listened to what she was saying right now, I think she would realize like, I still haven't gotten it.
I just eat large portions and I feel guilty afterwards because I don't like being fat. So it's like, I don't know, there's such like it's not black and white. There's like this fine gray area. And
yeah, that's most things in life, bestie.
Because like weight loss surgery is just like continuously and constantly on my mind because I want it so bad. And it's like, should I go to another program? Because a lot of people are telling me I should. And it's like, I really trust in, the people that I'm seeing now, but this is a very big change in my life that I want, that I need to save my life. And right now, I stay confused.
I think you're doing that to yourself, bestie, honestly. Like, again, when you just listen to whoever is willing to agree with you, that's why some of these people in your DMs are probably speaking to you and confusing you, because, like, they're speaking to the parts of you that do want to go try somewhere else because you're desperate to get this surgery, which I understand where the desperation comes from, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, that's what happens when you're just willing to take whatever the latest person that will agree with what your mind is telling you. That's what happens. I don't know if I'm making sense now, so let me just keep going.
I just stay confused because misdiagnosing someone, it does happen. It's a common thing that happens, obviously. I just went through the whole lung debacle.
Oh yes, the lung debacle.
We thought it was one thing. The doctors thought it was one thing. Turns out it was something else. And
well, that wasn't so much a misdiagnosis, just a case of they got more information that helped them understand what was going on.
Diagnosis is very common. I had uterine cancer, and I'm sure everyone who watches knows that. And I went to the doctor for the symptoms that I was having. I went to the ER. I always left with the same diagnosis, a UTI. And that was something that I went through for a couple years. It was always a UTI. that's a complete misdiagnosis because it was cancer the whole time causing those symptoms. And ever since I had a hysterectomy, I've never had a single one of those symptoms again. And it's frustrating that being misdiagnosed is a thing and can happen, but it's also common because doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, they are not robots at all.
Sure.
So yeah. Okay, I'm just back to rambling.
You sure you sure are. You sure are, bestie.
About weight loss surgery. Again, I swear that's not what these vlogs are gonna be. I just feel like I want to express myself a little bit more. I
mean, it's either that or you opening up some P.O. box items, let's be honest.
Right now, I'm just like, I'm very mad at myself because I feel like I exaggerated my food issues because I was in such denial that I exaggerated my food issues when I first started seeing a psychologist because I thoroughly believed that I had binge eating. And it's like, the more I actually learn about it and the more I actually...
So who's over here lecturing us on being honest with your healthcare professional then? Who's over here lecturing me about being honest with my medical healthcare professionals? Because it doesn't sound like up until right now you conveniently started telling the truth. But it doesn't sound like you were telling the truth in the back, according to you right here. This is so exhausting. I mean, I do really believe people get misdiagnosed on things all the time, and those kinds of things do happen. But, you know, it sounds like your psychiatrist, psychologist, whoever it was that diagnosed you with BED was doing the best they could with the information they had, which is what healthcare professionals are supposed to do. They're trying to make their best guess, their estimated educated guess to what's wrong based on the symptoms that they see, the symptoms that you tell them about, and things like that. So if you weren't being honest about that stuff, yeah, that's what happens. At least in the case of BED, it's not like I'm sure your psychiatrist or your psychologist wasn't sitting there watching you do it. You know, they to some extent have to go on what you tell them.
Learn about myself. I don't binge. I don't binge.
You don't binge with the definition that you have for binging right now, according to you. But other definitions that you've given in the past, yes, you do. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you're just saying that so you can get weight loss surgery. No, I'm saying that because I'm finally choosing me. I'm finally wanting to be healthier. I'm finally wanting to understand myself more and why I am the way I am.
It's time to move on.
Like this whole time, I've been so blind to that. Like, even towards the end of, like, seeing a psychologist, like...
The end. Let's emphasize the end of seeing a psychologist, as in she has not been since she left that psychologist.
Times where in my head I was like, there's no way that I have been eating.
She's coming to terms with this without actively talking to a mental health professional. Like, that's how she's come to this determination right now. She's come to it on her own. She hasn't even, outside of meeting with the psychologist from the weight loss clinic once, and them telling her that they didn't think she had it, she's come to this conclusion on her own.
And this was before I even wanted weight loss surgery. And it's like, I'm just more aware now that I don't binge at all. I overeat a lot. Yes, I do, because I have a bigger stomach. Someone my size has a bigger stomach. So I overeat, and I obviously feel guilty about it. Like, anyone who overeats who is at a higher weight is going to feel guilty about it. That's point blank.
See you soon. We don't even get an outro anymore. Just to see you soon. Oh my god, you guys. I'm so exhausted. Mostly just because, like, I really do feel like things were working out for her. Things were working out for her just fine, and then she gets this news that she has to wait longer, and now suddenly nothing's working, you know, everything's wrong. She's considering other programs to get this done, even though she's talked at length about how this is the best weight loss clinic ever in the nation, and she's done all this research. I just wish she could, like, hear herself, honestly, because it's so clear that she's just, like, willing to hear whatever fits her narrative for what she wants. And I've said that 20 times in this video at this point, so probably more, I'm sure. So let's just wrap it up, wrap it up. And that's all I have time for today. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media, including my Twitch, my Cameo, my merch shop, and that's all. That's all. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!